While the TOTO Neorest RH is a fantastic unit, loved by many of our customers, there are a few reasons why this particular Neorest might not be the one for you. Today we are going to talk about the 5 reasons why the TOTO Neorest RH may not be the perfect Neorest for your bathroom. Hi, my name is Daniel Johnson. I'm your bidet expert and the owner of manybidets.com, where we've sold over 10,000 bidets and have been in business for 8 years. The first reason why you may not want the TOTO Neorest RH as your bidet toilet combination in your home is the plastic access panels. So some of the higher end TOTO Neorests are fully porcelain based. But if you look at the TOTO Neorest RH, you can see on both sides there's a plastic access panel. Now this is great because it gives you access to the internals. You have your water supply shut off. You have your battery compartment for the manual flush. You have a variety of things that you have access to here, but you are looking at a plastic access panel. It is important to note that this is purely a cosmetic reason. The weight of the individual sitting on the toilet is fully supported by high quality porcelain. But this plastic access panel is an aesthetics aspect that may end up making you decide to go with a higher end TOTO Neorest or other integrated brand for that matter. Reason number 2 that the TOTO Neorest RH may not be the perfect unit for you. This is an integrated unit. Because it is an integrated unit, it is more expensive. Now, an integrated unit is a unit where the bowl and the lid all come as one unit. So we can see how sleek and classy it looks. That's because it's an integrated unit all built as one. However, that makes it expensive, and the feature set that something like the TOTO Neorest RH offers can still be obtained with a seat that sits on top of your existing toilet for a much less expensive price point. A great example would be the TOTO washlet, the S550E. The S550E offers all of the same features that the seat portion of the Neorest offers, but it's only about $1,000, so it's a much less expensive alternative. But of course, you're going to lose the sleekness factor. You're going to lose the pump-assisted flush because that's housed in the toilet portion. But it's a much less expensive option, and it offers the same bidet functionalities. Now, you can't sit on the lid of the RH. So while it's a more expensive unit, you might end up considering getting something that you can sit on the lid of. As an example, the Cascade 3000. Similar feature set to what we have with the RH, but the lid can be sat on. Or maybe you want an enema wash. This particular unit does not have an enema wash. If you went with something like the BioBidet BB2000, you would get an enema wash, which is a pointed stream that has enough power to work its way into your lower intestine, break apart constipation. So this is a very sleek unit, very feature rich, but it is pricey. If you were to go with a seat, you could get a very, very similar feature set and maybe even get some additional features, sittable lid with the Cascade, enema wash with the BioBidet BB2000, and yet come in at a much lower price point. You'd lose the sleekness. You would also lose some of the sittable space. Looking at the RH, you have a decent amount of sittable space here because there's no tank, no water tank in the back here to push the internals that make the unit work further forward. Seats in general are going to be smaller sittable spaces than an integrated unit. So you'd lose that with a seat, but you come in at a much lower price point. If you're looking for a lower price point, but still having a feature-rich unit, the TOTO Neorest RH may not be for you. Reason number 3, you might not want the TOTO Neorest RH as your integrated bidet toilet combination of choice is the seat size of this particular unit. So while we talked about the fact that the bidet seats have a smaller sittable space than integrated units, the RH's seat size is still a little bit on the lacking side if you want the most comfortable seated experience possible. So we can see that this is a pretty standard sized toilet. Nothing real special about the size here of the toilet. That's great, but it makes for a seating experience that might not be quite as comfortable as it possibly could be. So if you're looking for a more comfortable seated experience, you would want to look for a toilet, an integrated bidet toilet with a larger sittable space. Examples that come to mind might be the TOTO Neorest 700H, the TOTO Neorests 750H, or the TOTO Neorest NX1 or TOTO Neorest NX2. While these four units have a much larger footprint, they also provide a larger sittable space, which tends to make them more comfortable. The RH, in most people's opinions, including mine, is just as comfortable as a standard toilet, so it's not like switching to something like this is going to reduce your comfort level, but if you're really looking to get the most comfortable unit on the market, you might want to consider upgrading to one of the higher Neorest units on the market. Links to our entire Neorest line will be in the video description, so check that out below. Reason number 4, the TOTO Neorest RH may not be the unit for you. The TOTO Neorest RH has a fantastic pump-assisted flush. Now, while that sounds like a pro up front, and it is, there's also a downside to a pump-assisted flush. If you lose power, guess what doesn't work? The pump. So in a scenario where there is no power, this unit will still flush, but it is not going to be a strong flush. So if we take a look at this plastic access panel again, we have a pull string. This pull string allows us to flush the toilet without the assistance of the pump. It does that by controlling a flapper inside of the flange adapter and basically forcing water through the pipe system, similar to what would happen if you were to pour a 5-gallon bucket into the toilet bowl, but at a much smaller scale. So this will work. This will cause the toilet to flush, but it's going to be a very, very weak flush. If you are in a situation where you maybe run into power outages frequently and or you need to make sure that you always have a very powerful flush and you can't handle pouring a large bucket of water into the toilet in scenarios where you run out of power, the TOTO Neorest RH may not be for you, because while it works really well with power, when the power goes out, so does the pump-assisted flush. Reason number 5 why the TOTO Neorest RH may not be the bidet toilet combination for your house. Complications with installation. Whenever you're talking about a specialty toilet like this, there are additional things to take into account when it comes to installation. Here we're going to talk about a few of them and why they may end up playing a role in your decision on what bidet to get. If you want to get a feel for the entire installation process to get a really good feel for if it's doable in your home, please check out our video description for a link to our installation video. In brief though, a standard toilet can be installed pretty quickly. A TOTO Neorest RH requires you to drill into the floor portion of the bathroom. So you're going to be drilling into the floor, putting screws into those holes. That's going to be a little bit more complicated. Along with that, the TOTO Neorest RH only comes with a 12-inch rough-in. So if you are looking to install a TOTO Neorest RH into a bathroom that has a 10-inch rough-in, you're going to be out of luck. Now, a rough-in means the distance from the center of the drain hole to the back wall without taking molding into account. So that gives you an idea what we're talking about when we're talking about a 10-inch or a 12-inch rough-in. So the distance from the center of the drain hole to the back wall without the molding taken into account. That being said, if you're looking for an integrated bidet toilet combination for a 10-inch rough-in setup, check out our Washlet Plus units. A lot of the Washlet Plus units, they look a little bit more traditional than what you would see with one of these integrated units, but they offer a 10-inch rough-in, the same feature set, and they still hide the cord and the hose from the bidet seat. So a great option as an alternative to the RH. And we'll link that also in the video description so that you can take a look at units that work with a 10-inch rough-in should you need to go that direction. And last, but by far not least, water supply. When it comes to a standard toilet, the water supply location is not something that most people have to worry about whatsoever. With the RH, it may be something you need to worry about. And this is why. With the RH, the water supply is hidden behind this plastic panel. You see the water supply coming in here? If the water supply is too high, this hardware is going to get in the way of the water supply, and the water supply needs to be moved. On the floor, if the water supply is too far forward or too far in, the porcelain is going to come in contact with the water supply. And the porcelain base, as we can tell here, is much larger than the porcelain base of a standard toilet. So while a standard toilet may work very well with the water supply that you currently have set up, the position of the water supply for something like the RH is much more crucial to get right. You can now see on your screen a quick diagram of what the water supply positioning needs to be to give you an idea whether or not the water supply is going to be an issue for you and whether or not that needs to be moved. So you could technically have the water supply placed either on the wall or on the floor, but it does need to be within a very tight window in order to be properly installed. Also, for the outlet, you can see how close the electrical outlet, you can see how close the TOTO Neorest RH sits to the wall. So the electrical outlet cannot be behind the toilet. It will need to be off to one side or the other. So that is one more thing to take into account. So now we have talked about the top 5 reasons why the TOTO Neorest RH may not be the unit for you. That being said, there's a lot of great reasons why the RH might be the right unit for you. And in the video description, you can watch our video as to the top 5 reasons why the RH might be the perfect integrated unit for your household. So take a look at that video. But before I let you go, let's give you a bonus top reason why the RH might not be the perfect unit for your house. While the RH is controlled with a remote control, the remote control has a ton of options on the back. This comes in handy when you have guests over. They don't know that those options are on the back. They can quickly and easily understand how to use the unit because the options at their disposal are very limited. Those limited options can, in some households, also be seen as a disadvantage, as in order to change water temperature, air dryer temperature, and a variety of other settings, you have to flip the remote over, grab it, pick it up in your hands, and look at the back of the remote. This, again, can be seen as a good thing or a bad thing, which is why it didn't make our top 5, but it's a bonus item that we wanted to talk about today. So after seeing the 5 reasons not to buy the TOTO Neorest RH, maybe you're considering another integrated bidet toilet in the Neorest line from TOTO. If that's the case, you'll want to make sure that you subscribe to our channel, as we are doing an entire walkthrough of all of the TOTO Neorest lines, how to install them, features they offer, reasons to buy or not to buy them. So make sure that you subscribe if this describes you, so that you get the first glimpse at all of our new videos about the TOTO Neorest line, and make sure that you miss none of the action in regards to finding the perfect TOTO Neorest for your home. Also, if you like what you saw today, please like the video so that other people know that this is a video that might help them as well. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and please don't forget to look at the video description to review our website, get more great feedback there, chat with us online through our live chat software, call us, email us, text us, reach out so that we can help you find the perfect integrated bidet toilet combination for your needs.
MiniBidets.com, where we sell mini bidets, not mini bidets.